Vinnie Bartoli was a down-on-his-luck actor in Hollywood. He struggled through his career, never really making anything of himself. His only real claim to fame was as an extra in the movie Demon Dwellers 4. Clearly a B-name actor, a B-movie actor. Vinnie Bartoli really always wanted to be the celebrity in the big movies. Every time he'd go in and he'd audition for a movie, he was always told, "We like you, but you're not quite right. We're looking for something else." So Vinny would drive far off from his home and go down to the main city, and every night he would drive home wondering if he got the role, and that he would always get a call that night. "Sorry, Vinny, you're not quite what we're looking for." One night, while Vinny was driving home from one of his auditions, he passed by a red car. And the red car seemed familiar to him because it looked the same kind of car as a very attractive blonde actress was driving in his audition he went to that night. He remembers her well because she was very attractive, perfect hair, beautiful red dress, and he wished that he could be with somebody like that, but based on his small, slightly overweight stature, he knew he would never get a girl like that. But he passed the car along the way, and it was pulled off to the side of the road. It didn't look like there was anybody in the car, and he wondered why this car was abandoned. He slowed down for a minute, he turned around and shrugged it off and said, "Nah, it's not my problem. I'm gonna go home." So he continued to drive home, and along the drive home, his headlights all of a sudden flickered. They flickered on and off as if the car started to die. The radio that he was listening to at the time started to produce static, started cutting in and out of the station. He flipped between stations, trying to find a station that was clear, and every station that he turned to on the dial was static. Finally, he settled on a station that he thought was clear. He continued to drive, thinking nothing of the events that just happened. And all of a sudden, the radio started crackling again. And a woman's voice, could be heard on the radio, and though faint and slightly distorted, he could make out that the voice was saying on the radio, "You never left. You never left." And he's like, "Never left? What? I don't understand." And just wrote it off again. He wiped his eyes with his fingers, said to himself, "I've been up too long. I need to get myself some sleep." So he continued to drive up the hill, round the bend, a very narrow bend where you would almost think that two cars couldn't fit themselves next to one another. He drove around the bend and up around the hill, and as he pulled through around the hill, he thought again about that red car. Why was that red car abandoned? Was it the woman that he was there with at the audition? All of a sudden, while he was driving along, he drove alongside the curb and around a bend, and all of a sudden that red car was there again. That looks like the same red car I saw about 20 minutes ago. The tires, it was a convertible. The convertible roof was folded down. It looks like the same car. Why is this car here? And just as he continued to drive, all of a sudden the car he was driving himself started to die. The headlights flickered again, and finally the car started to slow down. He pulled the car to the side of the road, tried to start it. The car wouldn't start. He tried it again. It wouldn't start. This is all I need. I'm sure I didn't get that audition. I'm sure I didn't get that job. And now this stupid car. I should have never bought this car. This car's been nothing but trouble. Stupid car's died on me. So he got out of the car. He opened up the door. and a breeze hit him as he came out of the car. He had felt a cold chill running up his fingers, up his arm, and all across the back of his neck. And he took the collar of the jacket he was wearing and he propped it up to try to block off some of the breeze that was coming through. And warming his hands, he walked around to the front of the car. He opened up the hood of the car and tried to figure out why the car wasn't starting. All of a sudden, as he was tinkering around with the mechanics of the car, he heard, "You never left." That's strange. He heard that on the radio, but now he's hearing it as if it's traveling with the wind. He put the car hood down, and he looked up and he looked around, seeing if there was somebody around him, and he didn't see anything. All I could see was total darkness, and farther off in the distance he could see that car. He thought he saw a second time, but he saw that red car sitting in the distance. He's like, well, I don't have a phone on me. So he decided to lock up his car in case anyone came over and broke into it. He locked up his car, bundled up a little bit better, and then he decided to walk to the distance to where he saw that car the second time. Maybe in that car was a cell phone, maybe something that he could use to get his car going again. So while he was walking alongside the curb of the road, he was looking across the forest area that was at the side of him, and as he came closer and closer to the car, something caught his attention, and he quickly turned